All right, so here in lesson 8, we are going to kind of be going over the constant of proportionality again. And so here we're going to be taking word problems and trying to figure out the constant of proportionality from the word problems and kind of just explaining what that means in the context of the situation they gave you. So here in example 1, we're going to go over it together. And so I'm just going to start by reading it and going over what the next steps would be. So the question reads, your mother has accelerated onto the interstate beginning a long road trip, and you notice that the low fuel light is on, indicating that there is a half a gallon left in the gas tank. The nearest gas station is 26 miles away. Your mother keeps a log where she records the mileage and the number of gallons purchased each time she fills up the tank. Use the information in the table below to determine whether you will make it to the gas station before the gas runs out. You know that if you can determine the amount of gas that the car consumes in a particular number of miles, then you can determine whether or not you can make it to the next gas station. And so here's the little bit of the log. So they give you the gallons compared to the miles driven. And so when she had 8 gallons, she drove 224 miles. When she had 10 gallons, she drove 280 miles. When she had 4 gallons, she drove 112 miles. So to figure out the question A, it says, find the constant of proportionality and explain what it represents in this situation. So to find that constant of proportionality, you guys, we're going to be doing the same thing we've been doing with unit rates. So I'm going to simply go 224 divided by 8, and that's going to give me my constant of proportionality. But I can't just do it for one. I have to do it for all 3 to make sure it's the same. So 280 divided by 10 and 112 divided by 4. So I'm just going to grab my calculator out and we're going to go ahead and just type that in. 224 miles divided by 8 gallons, and that'll give me 28 miles per gallon. Okay. Well, let's try the next one. 280 divided by 10. Okay, I have 28 miles per gallon. Okay, so things are looking good because the first 2 are the same, but we have to make sure all 3 are the same. So I'm going to go ahead again, and 112 divided by 4, and that equals 28. So again, 28 miles per gallon. Okay, so now that I see that my constant of proportionality is 28, I would explain this constant of proportionality in the situation as it takes 28 miles to empty 1 gallon of gas tank, or the 1 gallon of the gas tank will drive 28 miles. So you'd kind of just have to take the situation and explain what that means. So 1 gallon will get you 28 miles. And you'll see that 3 different times there. So then, let's see how long this is real quick. The next question asks to write an equation that relates the miles driven to the number of gallons of gas. So my equation is going to follow that format of the y equals kx format. And I just leave the y because I don't have a y. And my constant of proportionality is k. We just figured that out. K is 28x. So y equals 28x is going to be in my equation. You'll always just plug in the constant of proportionality for the k, and you'll leave the y and the x unless they give you a y or an x to plug in. So we'll go ahead and pause this one, and then on the next slide, we'll go ahead and talk about the other 2 extensions.